We're 2 days past the second Friday of January, where a study done by Strava with 3.5 million users showed that most people give up on their goals on the second Friday of the month of January. This study didn't give me any numbers. It just said that most people give up. Now, if I'm thinking most people, I'm thinking more than 50% of those studied gave up on their goals on the second Friday of January. That's a lot of people giving up on their goals. I mean, when you sit down and you write out a goal, you want to accomplish that goal. What happens? What changes? Why do most people give up? I mean, I can come up with a whole bunch of reasons. 1, it gets hard. 2, you get distracted. 3, you get disillusioned, feeling like you can't make it. 4, something happens in your life. You change jobs. There's so many reasons. It can be so many different things of why you give up. But the one thing that doesn't change out of all those different reasons is that you give up. So by the second Friday of January, most people give up on their goals, on their New Year's resolutions. There's this story by Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. It's the story of a man that moved to California. I mean, I'm not sure if the story is that he moved to California or not, but I'm going to kind of shape and mold the story into my own words. But it's the story about this guy that moves to California for the gold rush. And he buys all this gear, and he's got this huge dream of striking it rich and striking that gold mine. And he goes, and for months and months and months, he's digging and digging and digging and putting that sweat equity into striking gold. And he's digging, he's sweating, he's losing weight, he's getting into shape, he's getting strong, he's getting fit from all that digging and digging. And little by little, day after day, he gets a little more disillusioned and a little more disillusioned and a little more disillusioned. And he's waking up every morning thinking, when am I going to strike gold? And that waking up every morning saying, when am I going to strike gold, turns out to waking up every morning, am I going to strike gold? And then he starts to question himself and doubt, what am I doing? I'm not striking gold. What am I doing wrong? What's happening? And then it's like, I'm never going to find gold. And then he wakes up the next day and digs and I'm not going to find any gold. What am I doing here? And all that thinking in his mind. And then he gives up. And, one day he's sitting there at his mind, giving up, and he's not going to dig. And this guy comes up and he's just, kind of a jolly guy asking about gold. Hey, man, I was thinking about striking it for gold. And what do you think, man? I mean, do you think this is possible? And he's talking to this guy, and then the guy says, you know what? All you've got to do is dig. Look, I'll sell you my mine, I'll sell you my gear, and just go and dig. And the guy gets really, really excited. And he buys all the mine gear, and then he starts digging, and 3 feet. He's digging for 3 feet. It's like maybe an hour or 2 of digging, for 3 feet of digging, and he strikes gold. Not only does he strike gold, but he strikes the biggest vine of gold in all of California. If you have a goal, you write it down, and you come up with an action plan, and you go for it. A lot of times not hitting that goal has to do with habits, right? Especially if it's the second week of January. Really, truly, what you're really trying to do is build new habits. And by the second week of January, you're kind of resetting back to your old habits of doing things the way you used to do them. Because, I want to vlog 364 days this year. I have to create a whole new habit of filming every single day. I have to admit that I do film 2-3 days a week sometimes. Most of the time, a minimum of 2 days a week I am filming. I am kind of editing every day. So it's not like I'm all of a sudden, boom, coming up with this completely new habit. I mean, I've already have the building blocks of creating the building on that habit of filming 2 days a week to 7 days a week, right? So it's a big jump. It is, I am kind of jumping into a new habit of filming every single day, but it's a little bit easier for me if I was, if I was coming from a place where I never film and all of a sudden, boom, tomorrow I'm filming every single day to do 364 vlogs. That would be a lot more challenging for me to do, right? So you've got to sit down and look at yourself and ask yourself, what are the habits that I'm trying to create here? For example, a great one, a fitness goal. Some people, they stop doing exercise for a long time and they want to get fit. They want to lose 10 pounds. Well, first of all, losing weight has a lot more to do with what you eat than exercising, right? But you do have to do some exercise. You got to burn some calories, and it's good to do some exercise. But losing weight has a lot more to do with what you're eating than actually, not changing your eating and exercising and then starting to eat more because you're burning more calories. You're not going to lose weight. Building a new habit of going from not exercising to all of a sudden you're exercising, that's a big change. So after the second week, it gets hard to do that, and you reset back to your old habits of sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. I mean, we tend to do those things that are easy to do. So I'm going to go sit down and spend 2 hours watching a Netflix episode instead of going for a run. For me, my second goal, so my first goal, the one thing, I kind of came up with this idea of what's the one thing that you want to accomplish this year, right? If you could not do anything else, what's that one thing? And that makes it kind of easier to accomplish that. There's this book by Walter Wallace called The Science of Getting Rich. And he says, you have to do one thing. Take that one thing. Do only that one thing. Put all your focus, your energy, and your mind into that one thing and make money doing it, right? So that, that kind of takes, I'm kind of taking a little bit of that, and then what's that one thing you want to accomplish this year? So if I don't make 4 10Ks a week, if I don't buy my Sprinter van, if I don't travel every month, if I don't go to South by Southwest, that's okay. But what's that one thing that if I didn't accomplish all that I want to do is I want to vlog 364 times this year. Right? Now I've got to focus on those habits and build those habits of filming every day. So I've got this one book that I want to read. I haven't read it yet. My daughter says it's great. It's called The Atomic Habits, right? I'd like to read that. An easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. So I do want to read this, and you know what? I will probably do updated book reviews on this on the channel while I'm reading it. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit, because you know what they say? They say that the best way to learn something is to teach someone else about it, right? So my goal would be to teach you about it so I can better understand this and better learn it, right? Tiny changes, remarkable results. Isn't that cool? So in conclusion to this long rant about, again, getting back on my goals, in conclusion, most people give up the second week of the month on their goals, on their New Year's goals. And I'm hoping that you don't. I'm hoping that you sit down and say to yourself, okay, I don't want to give up. Don't be like that guy that was digging for gold and gave up 3 feet from hitting that goal. Be the guy that continues no matter what. And one important thing to remember in conclusion is it's the journey and not the destination, right? Another book I read, Talent is Overrated, What Separates World-Class Performers from Everybody Else. In that book, they talk about it's the process of getting there. It's not actually getting there that counts. It's the process. It's another famous, there's another famous self-help guru, I can't remember his name, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said that it's not what you get from hitting that goal. It's who you become from trying to attain that goal. So it's the journey. The journey of trying to attain that goal is what changes you, right? So what's important to me and why I'm stressing this 364 vlogs a year is it's that process. It's that journey of creating content and creating stories that's important to me. That goal of at the end of the year, when I look back and I say, wow, I've vlogged 364 times, that's not the important thing. That's going to be over. What's important is who I've become the skill that I've learned, the talent that I've gained because 364 days this year I've logged. That's the important thing. Remember, in conclusion to this video, and you've got your goal, think about those things. It's the journey. Work on your habits. If you fall off your goals, like let's say your goal is to stop smoking. Your goal is to stop drinking. And after 2 weeks of not drinking, then you go out and you take a drink. That's okay, right? It's progress, not perfection, because a lot of times what happens is that because you took that drink, you give up and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you relapse and then you're like back drinking every single day, right? No, say, okay, man, I made a mistake. My habits pulled me back to where I used to do. Tomorrow I'm going to start again and I'm not going to drink, right? And then just keep doing that until little by little you will start drinking less and less or smoking less and less. Doing something cold turkey is not easy. But at the same time, if you trip and fall, what happens? You get up again, right? So when you trip and fall, you realize I'm not hitting my goals. That's okay. Get back up and try again and try again. Be that miner that instead of giving up 3 feet from the gold, he continues digging. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this today. I hope this is helpful for you. This is just a simple vlog that I'm putting together today. Things that I was thinking about this morning that I wanted to talk about and communicate to you. And let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm thinking about a story for tomorrow, and we'll see what it is.